welcome to the Wednesday edition of the Business Power Hour with Darren, Dimples, and the Music Man. Me. Hey, Dimps.
Hey, Mr. Music Man. How you doing this evening?
What's going on?
How are you?
Well, good. What's up? Two ladies. This is true story. These two ladies at a network meeting came over to me, and he said, your show was really good, but we missed Dimples. Good evening, everybody. I just got the finger from Jim. It's all part of the story. Right.
Hey everybody, it's Darren from the Business Power Hour. I'm not going to be in the studio tonight. I'm traveling.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Business Power Hour with Darren and the Music Man, except Darren's not here.
I'm here.
No,
I'm
you're
right
not
here.
Does anybody see that? Darren is not here. Darren is away.
I am right here, right next to
you. For
you.
a second, you're not here. Well, I don't know if you got lucky.
Not the really interesting question.
That's a fantastic question, Norman.
Wow. See, I got fantastic. You just got good. I got fantastic.
Show's about him, so let's focus on that. Were you drinking before the show?
Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus.
There we go. We got it.
Let's go.
No, it's...
Now we got
There you go. Okay.
Smother it.
So, I think you guys are music out there.
It's making noise.
It's making music.
Is it?
Yeah. That's so sweet. That's so sweet of you, Darren.
By the way, this is a Yankee station.
It's a
Thank
Yankee
you.
station. John, it's a Yankee station.
All right.
Unfortunately...
We got bugs in here. What's going on?
I don't know.
Do you spray? Get an exterminator?
It's that time of year where you're getting bugs and stuff. As long as we don't have bees, I'm good.
Yeah, all right. That's
But...
We have a lot of undulations out in the field. Undulations.
Is that a wine? What the hell is undulation?
Fred, don't use big words. Hey, right?
So this help.
I gotta give him a cough button, Jim. What do you think?
Cough button would be a good idea. Consider that a good question that he asked?
Great question.
There you go. I got
Pythons and brains.
You're double D?
I'm double D. Show's about him, so let's focus on that.
Hey, give me some loving. No?
How are you, Music Man?
Hello, Darren. How are you?
I'm fantastic. I'm absolutely convinced. I'm
telling
that you
you.
got some kind of brain damage when you had that thing last year.
I'm telling you, and he called.
Not classy, but classy.
Seeing interviews by Darren and the Music Man. Ladies and gentlemen, Darren Siafi and Norman Wasserman.
Let's do this. Yeah. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Business Power Hour with Darren Double D Dimples and the Music Man. See the dimps? Look at those dimples, everybody.
You haven't said that in a long time, my friend. How are you this evening?
It was the introduction that reminded me about Double D's.
Oh, was it? Oh, so you actually watched the introduction tonight?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Okay,
I like the parts that you told me that I'm a real knucklehead.
Oh, yeah.
You know, there's something wrong with me. I like that part.
Yeah, but you know that's.
I really, really do. I mean, I think that's very funny and true at the same time.
I was gonna say, right? I speak the truth.
No, you know.
Not like I don't speak the truth.
No, you tell the truth sometimes. Yeah.
Sometimes, yeah.
It's good.
So how was your week, my friend?
Wet. We've had
today was wet. Holy cow! And this
weekend was wet too. Yeah. We did some rain here. I don't know what it's like in the rest of the country, but here it's been pretty. Today was a beautiful day.
Well, you know what? It's been a fairly wet summer overall.
It's been a hot summer.
It's been a hot summer, but you know what? We've had a lot of rain too. I think it's more than last year. Last year was pretty dry all the way through, wasn't it?
Oh, who remembers? I'm too old to remember.
Come on, yeah. Wasn't it snowing last summer? Did we have snow last summer a couple times?
I think we had about that many inches.
Well, we had, if you remember last year.
I can't remember what I just had for dinner.
If you remember, when we were in the studio in Huntington, there was a couple of nights that it rained so hard that we had flooding, remember?
And we had flooding and we couldn't walk out of the studio.
And we couldn't walk out of the studio, at the end of the night.
It was kind of moist.
Yeah.
It was nice, but you mentioned something about being, hot summer or whatever. We have two really hot guests tonight.
Now, why are they hot guests? Because they're your guests?
Because, well, they're not my guests. They're our guests.
I
It
know they're
just-
our guests, but they're
I mean,
your
last
friends.
week,
I'm sorry, I misspoke. They're your friends.
yeah, right. No,
Right.
that's what it is. Like last week, we had a guest of yours who was a business associate,
Mhm.
and these two gentlemen are independent yet tied together at the same time.
Right.
And they happen to be in the entertainment industry and the advertising industry. So let's give it up for Tommy Snigger for BlokHed System Sound, and Mike. I can't pronounce Mike. Your last name is just I stutter. Mike Zinn. All right, of PhotoZinnthesis. You know, it's a
But
tough
how
one.
do you stutter on Zinn?
Right?
No, Zinn is easy. No,
How do you stutter on
say the name of his company and see if you get away with it.
Well, I'm not going to say that. I mean, his company name is like
I bet you he can't even say it.
Photos.
Say the name. Say the name of your company.
It's photosynthesis.
Yeah, right.
I got you.
Easy.
I got you.
And this is Tommy. Tommy is he's sitting in his studio, and that's his set of drum. By the way, he's also a drummer. And that's one hot set of drums. I mean, we're talking about a full set and then some of drums that we do when we do our virtual shows now in your studio. But I will go and say that Tommy is also my sound engineer, and he does a lot of shows for me when we used to do a lot of shows.
So was Tommy the guy that used to go to the shows and handle all the sound and make sure
He's the
everything
man.
worked right?
He's
at the
the man.
shows?
You say
tell you
hello to
what.
Tommy. You say hello to Tommy, then you leave him alone.
You leave me. Yeah, get
Leave him alone,
away
but
from
then
me,
he-
Norm.
he
You know
does
what, Tommy? I have the same feelings when I see him. It's just this, hi, Norm. Now get away.
That's it. So that's it. All right, guys. So let's start off. See, Tommy, since I've known you the longest, we'll give you the floor first. Tell us a little about yourself. What did you do? What you're doing now? What your business does now? What you did when you first got started? You
Okay,
got the
well,
floor.
I was a session drummer straight out of high school, always interested in sound, passionate about it, love doing it. And being in studios so much doing recordings, I would always stay and ask the engineers if I could just watch the sessions. I would sit back and listen and watch and kind of pick up all the tricks I could. Let's see, in 1997, I opened up a studio of myself, and it just grew into where it is now in Deer Park. So now I do albums, commercials, voiceovers, live
So
streaming.
you actually you have groups come in, Tommy, and actually record there?
Oh yeah. We had somebody today in and did some violins on the album, some backing vocals. That's what I did this morning. I'm always doing something different. It's very exciting. I love every aspect of it. Everything.
And now I got you doing virtual concerts, right?
Yes, I love doing that too. That is a challenge in itself because it's a kind of 1, 2, 3, go. You don't have, okay, let's do another take of that.
No takes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
we
sort of like flying. There's no simulator when you're up there. Yeah.
Exactly.
You
Once
gotta
get
do
in
it.
the air.
Yeah.
And I know that for a fact because I'm a pilot, Tommy.
I'm an instrument rated pilot myself.
Oh, okay. So there you go. We got something in common.
Okay,
Yeah.
you two guys now talk.
That's it.
No, seriously, tell them about what you fly and what you do and all that stuff.
Me?
You talking to me?
Yeah,
or
whatever.
talking to Tommy?
You said you fly, he flies.
Yeah.
Yes, I've flown everything's from Grumman's, Pipers, Skyhawks, Cessnas, which is a Skyhawk. Flew a twin engine over Cuba to the Cayman Islands. That was a lot of fun.
That had to be cool.
No, that was a lot of fun. You had to actually request a pathway over Cuba, or they'd send up some fighters and kind of escort you out of there.
I can imagine if they would
Yeah.
do that. Yeah.
Flew through a snowstorm to Buffalo one year in a Cessna 182. That was a lot of fun.
Oh yeah.
Got carbureted icing on that one. Good thing I saw that one in time. Yeah, it's great.
It's fun when you're in a situation like that and you see the ice building up on the leading edges. You know?
Yeah, well, there was no ice. I just started seeing the RPMs go down, and I'm like, okay, carburetor heat.
Carburetor,
You know?
here we go.
Yeah. So it's a lot
Mike,
of fun.
anytime you want to jump in, I'll jump in with you.
So-
All I got to do
So-
is mention to Darren that say something about flying, and that's it.
Well, that's
good
it.
enough.
So yeah, Tommy, I'm in Civil Air Patrol. I don't know if
Oh,
you're
wow.
familiar with them or not, right? So
Yeah,
see,
he's
Air
a
Force
big shot.
Auxiliary.
He's a big shot in that.
Not a big shot. Would you
You
say?
are a big shot. Yeah.
You always do that.
Well,
We're all big shots, Norm.
But yeah, we fly Cessnas. So from a two
Over the South Shore, right?
yeah, so we got
Yeah.
206s, 182s, 172s. We
Nice.
do an inland search and rescue. And what best part of the whole organization is we have a cadet program. So we actually get to take the kids up. They're 12 to 18. We actually take them up and get them to do their first flights. So
Oh,
that's
that-
a lot of fun.
That's awesome.
It is so awesome, man. When your kid shows up, never been in an airplane before, you put them in the airplane, you take them up, you let them take the yoke, and say, okay, fly, do this, do that, and let them fly a little bit, and they come down and they're ear to ear.
Why do you give him eggs?
What?
You said you give him a yolk.
Oh,
Yeah. Oh
No?
my God. This is why you're in the music business, because you can't be.
Just repeating what you said. That's all.
Oh man, you're funny. Anyway, we'll get off that. Let's talk about now, Tommy, you grew up on Long Island, I'm assuming, since you're
yes,
still
I
here?
grew up. I went to school in Islip. Grew up in Bayshore and Islip and all that, and that's where I've been.
So you've been here, you're a Long Island guy,
Yep.
bred, you're helping artists on the island record and really get out there. And Mike, what are
Yep.
you all about?
Well, I like to call myself a creative professional. And that
Okay.
is that I do a lot of different things, from photography to video to graphic design, to motion design, which is kind of a combination of graphic design and video design. And that's kind of how I got involved with Tommy, helping him out do some graphics and stuff a while back. And I'm also a musician, so I kind of, express myself in all different creative disciplines. So just through our friendship, we kind of started doing this live video stuff. We would film bands at his studio, and then about 2 years ago, Facebook Live started happening, and everybody started streaming. So we started looking into that, and we've been messing around with it for a good couple of years now. But the last, 3 or 4 months, ever since March, it's kind of the new way things operate, the way people communicate, like we're doing right now. You know, it's a visual medium, and really, what's so cool about working with Tommy, it's funny because he's talking about being a pilot, and I'm actually thinking in my head how similar that is to being an audio engineer. You've got all these crazy buttons and dials and stuff in front of you, and you know what every single one does, and every single one of them is important. And Tommy's really good at it. And so what I like about what I do is when I collaborate with people, I'm good at what I do, and I find people who are really good at what they do, and it's just it brings out a better product. So I think we were
So
just
how
messing
did you and Tommy find each other?
I would say the music scene, really. I mean, I think somebody recommended me to him to come to his studio and film a band for him. He was looking for that. I think that's how we met. Is that how we met?
But I think it was actually Jeff. Remember Jeff?
Oh,
you were
Jeff,
in a band with Jeff, and
yes,
Pam was in a band with
Jeff
Jeff.
Regan band, right? I was
That's
in a
right.
band.
So I met you through that, and of course got to talking to you, and
Right.
me owning a studio. I'm always looking for, okay, I could use a video guy,
Right.
an editing guy, and that's how I'm pretty sure we hooked up.
That was it. You were doing sound for the Jeff Regan band. That was exactly it. I forgot about that, but that, and that's really what I love about what we do, is that just by doing it, you are meeting so many different people, like Norman. I don't know how this is being shown on the screen, if he's there.
I think
or-
Norman is actually below you.
Okay, so Norman.
So you can do like this. You can actually do
so-
like this, Mike, and like play with his hair and.
Yeah, so Norman, Norman was working with Tommy on the live gigs, and Tommy was doing the sound. And again, Tommy's just one of the best, and it turned into this. And you know, again, what we're doing with BlokHed Live is just it's a step above what people are doing, and it's very current.
Well,
and it's
how did you guys first start Well, we understand how you start. How long have you been collaborating together?
well, the Jeff
Over
Regan
years.
band, I guess, was probably what, 8 years ago?
8, 9 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah, a long time.
Okay, so you've
Yeah.
been together for a while. You kind of know each other, what's going on. You
Mhm.
see this new trend happening.
Mhm.
How tough of a transition is it to go from, you know, doing it live, streaming it, and then having it in the studio? And you know, Tommy, you said it before. It's like, okay, just take 1, take 2, take 3. Those things are all gone now, right?
Well, they're only gone when you're going live. When he's in the studio, if something doesn't come out right, you do it over again and over again. But
Yeah.
before, when you were talking about flying by the seat of your pants, here's a little memory for the two of you. July 25th, we're all ready to do our first show, first virtual show. And you mentioned anything can possibly happen. We tested during the week. Everything was great. It comes to Saturday. We're about 15 minutes before, remember this, Mike? We're about 15 minutes before showtime, and we lose the signal. We obviously got it back and everything was fine, but you do get a little nervous tension. Sometimes stuff happens when you're doing things by the seat of your pants.
Yeah.
But I have to give kudos to the two of them, because we're still getting rave reviews about the first show that we did with the John Fogerty project and doing CCR.
Yeah.
Tommy killed it, Mike killed it, and we're doing our next show now just in 2 weeks.
So how long have you and Tommy been collaborating, Norm?
I guess it's about 1.5 years or so, right?
Okay.
Maybe a little bit longer than that. I think
Yeah.
we did something. Oh, well, how long was the Diana Ross show?
No, not you mean Donna Summer.
Donna Summers, yes.
Yeah, that was about 2 years ago. Yeah, so it's close. Yeah, close to that.
Yeah.
About 2
And then
years.
we had
So
the pleasure. We had the pleasure of canceling 26 shows with me. You know, when COVID happened. You know, but Tommy, like everybody else, they're all in the same group. I mean, how many shows have you postponed or canceled? Let's say since March.
50.
Wow.
Easy.
At least, yeah.
Easy.
Yep.
Easy, and that's just
And-
one person.
So when the COVID-19 thing happened, 100% of the gigs were canceled, and now the ones that I'm getting now, 50% of those at least will be canceled a week before to even a day before.
So why
So-
is that happening? We understand why the original ones were canceled. If people are scheduling out shows now, aren't they
Because-
scheduling them smart?
They're scheduling them smart. They're scheduling them, and then what happens is the town will get skittish. Something like the numbers will go up, and they'll decide, no, we can't keep a good distance. We can't do this a certain way. So they'll cancel it out. But more and more, these towns are going for things like drive-ins where cars are every other slot. And I did a brewery 2 weeks ago that it was awesome. There was a lot of people there, but everybody was at least 6 to 10 feet away from each other in their own little cliques.
And this is going to end soon. Once the weather changes and it starts to get cold and rainy and snowy, that's over. And that won't be back until till the springtime
Yeah.
next year.
So this live
That's a shame.
streaming thing, I think, is going to be what's going to be available, because you can't go to clubs and hang out there. That's just an impossibility. I know they're
Right.
trying to do it, but how
And
do
the
you keep
club
social
owners-
distance with that?
Club owners are calling us to bring in the virtual shows.
Yeah.
But they're happy to put 50 people in if the room is big enough.
Yeah, but
If
you
they
know
put
what?
50 people in there plus dinner in a bar, they're happy to give us at a reduced rate the use of the venue.
What
And
I'm
that's why I bring you to certain venues, which we have to talk about after the show.
So
When you too, Mike.
one of the things that I'm finding odd with this whole thing is you know, now restaurants, they're starting to open up. You can go inside, tables have to be 6 feet apart. But when people are eating, they don't have their masks on. So the only people in the place that have their masks on are the servers, the waiters, the bartender, the waitresses. You know, they're running around with their masks on. But you know what? My table's 6 feet from somebody else, but I'm laughing and joking and my spit's flying all over the place. That's okay, you know?
I'm glad I'm not going out to the restaurants. I mean, you know, honestly, you know, I think everybody's kind of it's interesting. The question you actually asked was, how are we transitioning into it? And it's really malleable right now. You know, people are trying to figure it out. Like you were just talking about, you know, going out to a restaurant, even it's a whole new experience. People are trying to figure it out. I personally, my thoughts are this. I feel safe. I don't feel like if I get sick, I get sick, but I don't want to get somebody sick. So I wear masks when I go into public and I'm around other people. But as far as like a restaurant goes, I would love to go sit and have a nice steak at a restaurant, but do I need to? No. And so I just don't. I just choose not to. Do I care that other people are going and laughing and spitting and having a good time? No, I don't. You know what I mean? I feel like people should live and do what they want. And
well, here's the new mask that you can go and eat with. So you just wear your mask, you got your nose covered, and you stuff yourself inside here. So
you should bring that to Shark Tank.
And you can breathe. There's a little nose so you can breathe. So that's cool. So I'm going to go into business with this now.
There you go.
Anybody want to partner up?
Good luck with that, Norman.
Thank you.
You know, Norm, how you said that in the beginning when you watched the intro, and you really like that part about me saying there's something very wrong with you.
Well, I'm very
just proving my point.
I'm a very creative individual. That's what I do.
That is a creative individual.
Okay,
talk about
so
creative. You are an extremely creative individual. You just say something to you, and bingo, crap happens. I mean, really, you do a wonderful job.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Mike is awesome. Mike has.
Does Norm owe you guys money or something? Because he's really like complimenting the crap out of you.
Does he owe us money, Tom? Maybe. He might.
I always pay on time.
No, Norm. I love working with Norm. He's great. He's a great guy. He's a bit old school, but that's good. There's a discipline to it that I like. You know. So, you know, I can't complain. Plus it's work, and he does pay on time. So
I still have, I have 3x5s. My Rolodex. I still have a Rolodex.
Nice.
All right. So you guys decided, okay, the live streaming thing is happening. We got to get ahead of this thing. Right?
Yeah.
What's your top challenges in actually pulling this thing off?
Quality.
Quality.
Quality. I don't want to be just the average streamer. Whenever I do anything, the way I get satisfaction and gratification is to do it the best I possibly can. And being a little obsessive compulsive, it's all about how much better can it be? What more can I learn from this broadcast? How can I make it better? So it's getting professional cameras, and not a lot of people have the money to have, you know, 4 or 5 cameras of a certain quality. So they use a phone or they use something, which is fine, but you know, that doesn't fit the BlokHed quality motto. You know, at BlokHed, everything is, I want you to walk away with a better experience than you expected, with something better than you expected. That's my motto in life and in business. I want that. I have to have it.
So tell us what BlokHed is all about.
It's about quality. It's about giving the best you can and having people walk away better people and better with a better product, you know, than when you had walked in here in the first place. I believe in karma and all that. It sounds kind of wishy-washy, but that is my.
No, I believe that too.
No, there's nothing wrong with that. That's actually a great way to be.
Yeah.
Is really do everything that you do with your own beliefs. And,
oh yeah.
You know, I strongly believe that. Darlene Fallis says you guys are a great team. So
Oh,
thanks, Darlene.
Yeah, we are.
So
Yeah, Mike and I
Darlene,
are great.
that quick shout out to Darlene. And then
Yes.
we got a question from Heather Murphy. She says, how has the virus impacted musicians going forward? How is that going to impact them going forward? Is it going to come all virtual like this? Is like everything that we do now going to be virtual and not live?
Well, virtual and live at the same time, I believe. That's what live streaming is. So is it going to, moving forward? Yes, there's no other way around it. It has to be, if musicians want to play and it's in their soul, they have to play. It's part of who we are. We can't just sit around and just noodle around. There's something in us that needs to perform to people. We trade an energy and we kind of live on that. So
let me answer that a little bit if I can, from my perspective. You're as the musician and so on, and I'm the guy that books the shows.
Mm-hmm.
The world has changed regarding music. It's one of the industries that have been hardest hit, and nobody gets it. Because the music industry also hits restaurants, it hits bars, it hits advertising. There are so many different areas that, because music, look at Broadway. Broadway's dead. Broadway, if they're lucky, will open up January or February of next year. And when they open up, if they had, and I've mentioned this many times, if they had 700-800 seats in that building, they're going to have no more than maybe 400 to 500, which means in order for them to stay alive, that ticket price is going to go shoot way up, and or the entertainers, the actors and actresses got to take a lot less money. Now, I've gotten many phone calls from some of the larger tribute bands around the country offering to take a quarter of what it is that they're willing to, that what they normally ask for the same reason that Tommy is talking about. They got to get out and they got to play. It's in the soul, it's in the heart. But I personally, I would love to say by January or February, this is going to change. I hope.
We don't know, right?
We have to go back.
When it first started, we thought by the summertime we'd be okay and we'd be
exactly
running again, right?
I think it's a really, really tough call. And I think it's real smart for Mike and for Tommy to start doing the virtual stuff as they're doing it now. Really be at the forefront. Be one of the leaders.
Yeah.
I mean, Tommy's made his studio bigger.
Yeah.
I mean, it's getting big enough that he made his studio bigger. He did a little cleaning up, and he made a beautiful studio.
Well, Tommy, let me ask you this question, because you said something that sparked something in me, in the sense that you said, you know, you guys feed off of that atmosphere. You feed off that electricity when you're performing. But don't you feed off the crowd too? And not having a crowd when you're performing, how does that affect your energy?
Listen, a crowd of 10,000 people is fantastic, but to a musician, if you've ever gone to a rehearsal where there's nobody and then all of a sudden 2 people walk in, they feed off of that. So it's just an excitement. It's a sharing of an experience. So yeah, 10,000 people, you get one experience, but even 2 people walking into a rehearsal or a room where they're doing a live stream, and there's a sense of, I want to perform. I want to do my best for the person that's in the room. So,
have you found anybody that's resistant to that says, hey, you know what? I can't get the same energy up if I don't have somebody in front of me.
They're not a true musician.
I don't know.
If they do that, they're not a true musician.
Okay, so coming from firsthand, when you play in front of 10,000 people and then you stop doing that, you kind of get jaded and you're like, I'm not going to play bars and clubs. But let me tell you, after you don't play for 5 years in front of anybody because you have that attitude, you start saying, you know what, I'm going to play in this club. And then when you do play in the club, you're like, well, I remember the reason why I did it in the first place. So yeah, there are people who are resistant to it, but it's usually the people that got so jaded, with giant crowds that it's hard for them to go back. But give them enough time and 2 people in front of them will seem like a good deal.
Yeah.
Before we go any further, Tommy, why don't you give your phone number and your email address so people, if they're interested in coming into the studio, can get in touch with you.
Well-
And then Mike, you do the same thing.
And okay, so before we do that though, tell us to get in touch with you. Why would somebody get in touch with you? What are you offering them with your studio and with your services, Mike, that they want to get in touch with you right now?
Okay, so the biggest thing about my studio, and I've been in business here just at this location for 17 years with hardly any advertisement. That's word of mouth. And in recording studio time, that's an eternity. The main reason why you should come here is because, one, I am truly passionate about what I do. I love to do this. When you walk in the door, whether you are the greatest musician or whether you are just starting off, I will give you 110%, if that's possible, to you to create something great. It's a challenge for me. For someone who's great, you just work with the flow. It's an enjoyable process. For somebody who's not great, it's a challenge to me to give them the best. Yeah, to make a piece of art. And the equipment is great here, but let's face it, anybody with money can buy equipment, but it's the ear and the experience, and it's that word passion. Somebody with passion is going to go that extra effort without knowing or caring it's an extra effort because they love to do it. Somebody who's just doing it, will only go a certain level and that's it. Get them out of here. It's, I'm done with this project, that kind of thing. But I give you the whole thing. I give you all of me. You get the studio, and it is a great vibe here. If you're not
also, you're an artist.
Yes.
You are an artist. You're a business owner, but you're an artist.
Correct. I
It's
am
being an artist first and a business owner second, versus the studio that is just the opposite. And when you talk about artistic, that's Mike. Now, Darren, you haven't seen some of the stuff that this boy has done. I mean, it's really,
Mike's got
really,
skill,
he's very similar to Chris,
right?
But different than Chris. So Mike,
Chris,
tell everybody
Chris
about
isn't on
you.
Mike's level yet. Is that what you're saying?
Again, I'm a visual artist. So I do photography, I do video, I do graphic design, but I like to combine those things. So I think some of the stuff that I showed Norman that he really liked, and I've done in the last year, I was inspired by a photographer I saw who was using a digital projector. So technology plays a big part in what I do and my creativity. I use a lot of different tools like that. So he's using a digital projector and projecting images onto models. So I was fascinated by that, and I started playing around with it. And it was just, I felt like, I went to school 30 years ago. I was in college, so it's been a long time, but I felt like I was in college again, and somebody had given me a paintbrush for the first time, and I had never held a paintbrush. So it was like, as a creative, it was like a whole new medium for me. And so I started taking these photos of models with the projector, and then being a graphic designer, I started taking some of those images and manipulating them after the fact by doing symmetry. So I would take an image that you would kind of recognize a figure in the image because of the projection, and then I would duplicate it and multiply it like mirror, almost like a kaleidoscope. So if you would
so basically, for to like break it down to people in our age group, it's real simple. You're the guy that, hey man, we want a really kick-ass album cover.
Mm-hmm.
You're the guy to do that.
Yeah,
kind of thing, right?
I'll go with
that.
that.
Millennials don't know what an kick-ass album cover is, right?
They don't know what an album cover is.
You're right, exactly, because album covers were that like made the album when it first came out.
Sure,
right?
sure.
Like the cool thing.
That's
cool
where my inspiration comes from. Yeah, that's where my inspiration comes from. That's what's so beautiful about mine and Tommy's relationship. I feel like everything he's ever done with music and audio has brought him to this place, and he uses all of those skills of everything he's learned. And the same thing with me, as I've learned video tools and how to make a video and how to put sound and video together, all of those tools are coming together, and it's just really magic. It's just a great symbiotic relationship that we have. And then, you know, people like Norm, is Norm down there? People like Norm come and, you know, they kind of light the fire under us and give us something to do. So when you watch one of our broadcasts with Norm, it's like a little TV show. There's like a nice intro that comes up, and Norm comes in and he does his introduction of the band plays, they sound phenomenal, which is a huge thing in live streaming these days. I mean,
And Tommy makes that happen.
Yeah, he does such an amazing job. And then Norm comes in, he takes a break and he interviews the band, and it's like, it feels like an old school TV show. So I feel like Norm almost gets a chance to kind of get involved a little more.
Like Dick Clark.
Yeah, he gets involved a
more
little
like
bit more
more
than
like
usually.
Merv Griffin, I think, maybe.
And what's his face that just passed away?
Who's that?
He just like 2 weeks ago he passed away.
Regis
He was-
Philbin? Was it Regis?
Oh,
That's
Regis,
Regis. Yeah, I'm like Regis Philbin too. You know?
Yeah, he was a little off too.
Well, you got to be off to be. You think these two are normal? These two aren't normal.
So getting back to it, guys, how can people get in touch with you? Now that we know what you do and what you're offering, how do people get in touch with you?
Well, I'll start. You can call 516-578-7805. That's BlokHed's phone number, or email, which is BLOKHEDSYS@verizon.net. So BlokHed is spelt a very dyslexic way without an A or a C. BlokHed.
Can people that are out of
It's
town,
phonetically right. So there you
can
go.
people out of town, Tommy, use any of your services?
Yes, absolutely. I do a lot of work in-house here that I send out. And with today's, the way electronics are and live sending things out, I get things from California. I do drum work. I do a lot of drum session work, and I'll send it all over the world. I just did a song with Jeff Bly, who's a fantastic horn player, who was part of Dexy's Midnight Runners, for 40th anniversary song from Dexy's. And that was done in all studios, but the horns and a lot of stuff was done here, and it's going all over Europe. So yeah, anybody.
By the way, Mike, before you give your phone number, Tommy, you also have a pretty well-known Long Island band, don't you? That you work with.
Yes, I have Gold Dust Woman, and past one was Schroeder's Ghost, which was my baby, and we just disbanded that one. But
What
yeah,
does Gold Dust do?
Gold Dust does all Stevie Nicks and Fleetwood Mac, but Janet Solari, who is the lead singer, is, in my opinion, my humble opinion, the best Stevie Nicks that could ever be. She sounds exactly like her, and she does all the dress ups, and she's fantastic. I'm proud to be in that band.
Yeah.
So Paul Mayhouse gives you guys a shout out. Okay.
Paulie.
Hello, Paul.
All right.
And Mike, how do people get in touch with you?
So my last name is Zinn, Z-I-N-N, and I always like to do play on words. So I came up with this term. Actually, a friend of mine came up with a term. A creative director I was working with, he would give me a photo and he would say, I want you to take this and I want you to synthesize it. So he wanted me to take this layout that he did and change it into a motion graphic. So synthesize became a term in my brain. And then as I started doing more and more photography, and I was taking my photographs and I was manipulating and then changing them into something else, PhotoZinnthesis came out, which is just taking photos and changing the energy into something different. So my website is PhotoZinnthesis.com. It's photo, the word photo, PHOTO, ZINNTHESIS, PhotoZinnthesis.com, or just put photosynthesis in. You could find my Instagram as well that way.
And your phone number?
I don't know if I want to give my phone number out over the internet. But
Darren, cut him.
Find my website, and you can reach me there.
I don't give Norm my phone number either.
Norm
Doesn't
doesn't have
matter, you
my
don't
phone
answer
number.
it.
Yeah, he doesn't have mine either.
That's funny. All right, so we got that up. We're good.
Have
All right,
anything, you two guys have anything special coming up? Or Tommy, are you doing any special shows? And Mike, are you doing any special artwork or anything coming?
Well, speaking about the live streaming, really, I've been exploring that. I really actually love doing it, creating the graphics and everything to make it more of a experience. So I've been working with the Holistic Center for Soulful Living, which is in Smithtown, and they are doing live broadcasts at least once a week, sometimes twice a week, of different subjects, spirituality, how to kind of navigate the current times that we're in, and topics like that. And it's always great because I get to do what I love, and then I get to listen to some really great conversation about life and spirituality and kind of healing and those kinds of things. So that's what I've been doing lately.
all right.
And Tommy, you?
Well, the next show, I'm constantly doing something in here, but the next live stream that I'm really looking forward to is a band called Freebird.
I've heard of them.
Yeah,
Yes.
I've heard of them too. It's
Yeah.
a Leonard Skinner band.
Yes.
Oh, is that right?
Yes.
Let me guess. September 5th.
Yes. Yes.
Oh.
Excellent. Yeah, I'm really looking forward. I've done sound for that band, and I've known that band for a while, and they're just
Actually, you recommended him to me.
yeah, great
You
band.
recommended him to me, and by chance, Darling was at Jones Beach last year, and saw there was a packed house at
they
Jones
packed
Beach.
everywhere,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good
I love
good
the
bunch of
bands that
guys.
Norm brings are great.
Well, wait a second. No, Tommy, did he give you a finder's fee?
No.
Yeah, I hired him.
Yeah. I
What
can't
goes
do
around
work
comes
schedule.
around.
That's payment enough for me.
The band gave him a finder's fee.
So
Yeah.
Tommy, would you do live streaming for anything other than a band?
Oh yeah, of course.
Like if somebody wanted to come in and do live streaming of a show, or even we got our next Merv Griffin over here.
Yeah, we do things like podcasts, and that's sort of like a live stream, but with just audio. But yeah, I'll do anything. We'll go anywhere. We'll do conventions. People in booths that are showing their product.
Tommy,
Anything.
we did a great show last year. We took the whole live stream setup to Fire Island, and we did a band called Rich Mahogany, and what was the name of that club? Surfs Up or Surfs Out?
The Inn, I think. The Inn. I think it was the Inn.
Okay, but I mean, they packed out the house. We had a live stream going. I had my drone there, so I flew the drone, and we had some great footage over it was amazing.
Oh, I forgot to mention that.
Yeah.
He also has a drone that you can put things on your videos.
Yeah.
Whether it be, it's really, really terrific. He's so unique in what he does.
Thank you. Yeah, the drone is a great tool. Like I said, technology. I love technology and my creativity, and the drone is just such a cinematic, amazing tool. They're so smart, these things. You put them up in the air, and it's just
what we should do for September 5th? Put the drone up in the air and seriously, and put it over Tommy's studio, and have the guys, when they show up, get out of their truck to load in. And, as we have the beginning, the first half an hour, when we go live, and do a little video like that. See?
You got to make sure they got their masks on, though.
Yeah, they have to have their masks
Yeah,
on.
they're going to be getting too close. But you can have the Norm mask for that.
Yeah, the Norm mask.
the Norm eating mask, yeah.
That's exactly it.
Eating only. Also, this has to be a winter mask. What are people going to do in the wintertime?
Yeah.
They have to make a winterized one.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm already steaming up my
I
glasses.
think Tommy's throwing up right now.
That's it. Well, yeah, I can understand that, Tommy, because when we're coming up on an hour of talking with Norm, I tend to get the same way. So
That's it.
If you stay too long around Norm, you start getting the sillies. You know,
Exactly. So
just-
Al Madlinger actually shouts out to you guys how great you
Al.
are. And
Al is awesome.
Al's the
they're
man.
One of the best John
Yeah.
Fogerty project bands.
Such a good band,
love
yeah.
that band.
those guys are fantastic.
Yeah.
Al, they're
Al is
still
just-
they're still talking about the show to this day. They're talking about it.
Yeah, that was a great show. Those
We
guys
still-
are great
We
performers.
still
and
have
Al
those
is just
shows
so
up,
much
right?
fun.
Those shows are
Yeah,
still
they're
up.
still posted. Yeah,
Awesome.
they got posted.
Yeah, he's saying Tommy. He's saying that your drum set's too big.
Yeah.
So
That's a
Hey,
private
man,
joke.
It's just a 4-piece kit if you ignore everything else.
You know,
That's it.
That's what you call an insider.
I
See?
gotcha.
What are you doing? There it is.
It's not the size of the ship, it's the captain.
You got the yin and the yang there. I see, Tom.
It's not the motion of the ocean.
That's my balance.
There you go. All right, guys. So let me ask you this question. You do podcasts, right? You're obviously now do live video streaming. You got the cameras for that. If somebody wanted to like shoot a commercial, use your studio space for stuff like that, and actually, enlist Mike to say, hey, I want to do a commercial for my business.
Mhm.
And I want to do something rocking. I want to do something that's like off the hook, different. That's not what you normally see for a commercial. Is that something you guys do?
Yes.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I've been involved with independent film and actually doing music video. One of my amazing moments in what I do is I was actually doing a video for Twisted Sister for a contest that they had, and it was Hornitos Tequila, and the winner got to be in a video. And I used to listen to Twisted Sister. I have Twisted Sister records. So here I am with a big reflector standing in front of Dee Snider as he's singing We're Not Gonna Take It. And I'm just like, holy moly, like I'm doing what I love and I'm around this stuff that I grew around. I mean, it was just such a magical moment of being, so.
Is that the most interesting situation that you've seen yourself in?
You know what? It's kind of typical, actually. I often find myself in a situation where I'm just like, wow, I listened to this person growing up. I struck up a very interesting friendship with Jesse Snider, who's Dee's son, and I've been collaborating with him on some creative projects, and it's just been an amazing whirlwind, he brings another talent to the picture that fits in with everything we're doing, because he's an amazing like TV host and voiceover actor. So like we've actually done a couple of projects where he's doing his thing, I'm doing my thing, Tommy's doing his thing. It's just, again, I hate to feel so happy in this moment of what's going on outside, but I feel like that's what you got to do, because if you focus on what's going on outside and you're like, oh my God, can I curse? I don't want to curse.
You can curse.
We're screwed. We're
Cursing's
fucked.
allowed.
If you think we're fucked, then you're fucked. But if you think, wow, this is awesome. Look at what I'm doing. Look at what I'm doing with Norm and Tommy, and I don't know where they are, but I mean,
Norm's below you, Tommy's to your lower left.
Tommy, do you have any special moment that you were on stage with, or you played for, or whatever?
Yes. I'll tell you a quick story. It's
That's
pretty
besides
funny.
me. I mean, just in
Besides
general.
you. Well, I think I had just finished playing the Troubadour or something in California. It was for a producer or a booking agent who was turning to producer in the movie business. So they flew me over to California. We did the gig, and we were doing this after party. It was this after party thing. So I'm sitting down on the couch. I look 4 feet in front of me, 5 feet in front of me is Mark Hamill. And I go to my bass player. I go, hey man, don't look. But that's Mark Hamill right there. Luke Skywalker. He said, but don't look. Don't make him uncomfortable. And my bass player gets up and goes, hey man, you're Luke Skywalker. And Mark Hamill looks at him, goes, yep, and walks out. The producer was so pissed at us for that. But now I think he has a different attitude about it now. Today he'd probably just go, yeah, you know.
He'd
But
be happy if anyone recognizes him now.
oh, he's awesome. He's totally awesome. But no, that's my one story. Yeah, that's it. I mean, I got lots of stories, but I don't think they're suitable for for the viewing audience.
Speaking about suitable, did my wife just send you a message?
She just gave you a thumbs up. All
Yeah,
right,
my
so,
wife's
yeah.
a big Sky Luke Walker person. Thing.
Oh yeah,
She's a big
Yeah.
Star Wars fan. Is that
Nice.
what you're saying?
Huge, big time.
Hi, Renee. How are you, dear?
You touched,
She's in
you
the
touched
other
the
room.
I
nerve
know
with your
she's
Mark
out
Hamill
in the other
story.
room. She can hear what's going on.
Oh, she sure can.
She
sure
watches.
can.
She watches everything that goes on. Well, guys, remember I told you the hour's going to kind of fly by, right?
oh my
So-
God, really? It's,
Yeah.
wow.
So yeah, we almost got an hour in, so it's pretty exciting. So one more time, how can people get a hold of you guys?
Well, BlokHed, they can call 516-578-7805. BLOKHEDSYS at Verizon.net. And yeah, give me a call.
And Mike,
right.
you're not giving off your phone number, so
No.
however you want to do this.
Find me at PhotoZinnthesis. So again, my last name is Zinn, Z-I-N-N, PhotoZinnthesis.com. Actually, my Instagram handle, whatever it's called, is Papageddon. So I didn't talk about it, but years ago I did a calendar called Women of Armageddon, which was
great.
That must have been interesting.
It was a creative thing that came out of my brain, and it was a spoof of Mad Max meets the Victoria's Secret calendar. My one day I said it was 2012 actually was when it
Right.
happened. And I said,
that's
what happens when the world ends? So I came up with this idea, and I happen to have a bunch of friends who are into the haunts, the Halloween stuff. So they were all like, we'll dress up, we'll take pictures. And it came to life, and I did that calendar for 6 years. So
Did you have some
Great.
Victoria models?
I never got Victoria's Secret models, but we did end up getting, I mean, I had some fitness people from Texas who contacted me and wanted to be in the calendar.
Was Tommy in it?
Tommy was not in the calendar. Tommy was not. He did have it hanging on the wall, though. He was a big supporter.
I was
support,
a big
right?
fan of it.
And that's what we got to
So
go.
creative.
Well, we thank you very much, guys. It's been a
Yeah.
pleasure.
Thank you.
It's
Thank
it's
you.
great having you
Hold
guys
yourselves
on.
a little bit.
Darren.
We would love to have you guys on again.
Awesome.
You know, maybe after this next adventure with Norm, you know, we'll bring you guys back and
Awesome.
we'll critique what happened.
Cool.
The real
All right.
stuff.
Well,
the
actually,
truth.
we'll critique Norm's interviewing skills
And my tambourine playing.
and your tambourine playing. Yeah,
All right.
that's always scary.
Yeah,
All right,
very.
guys. Thanks
All
for
right,
being
thank
on.
you, guys.
Thank
and
you,
we'll
guys.
talk to you soon.
Thank you.
Great
Have a
job.
great
Thank
one.
you. Good show.
Yeah, very good show.
Nice.
You guys, you know what? Great couple of guys.
Yep.
You know,
We have a good team. We have
definitely
we
a
have
good team. This is
we
why
have a
you guys
really
are so
good team.
successful.
You know,
You know?
I can call Tommy and or Mike and anybody else that's on the team, and I tell them where and when, and I don't have to be there till 5 minutes before showtime. Of course I
Yeah.
am, but that's the way it goes, because everybody is so professional and knows exactly what has to get done. And just like Tommy was saying, you pay for that, you know, and what it is professionalism and so on. And maybe that's one of the reasons we've been around for as long as we have. So
I'm sure it is. Well, you always do a good job and you always work hard. So what do you got coming up?
Nothing. We just did, what did I do? Oh yeah, I went this morning, and to be announced shortly. We have a national organization that is about ready to sign up with us for one of our virtual shows.
Okay.
And which it's going to be an ABBA concert. And they always do well with us. So that's who they would like. They've seen that show before. So that's really good. And tomorrow, we're taking a trip down to my father's place.
Yes, you told me you were going to.
Yeah, we're going to my father's place.
Where is
in
that
Roslyn.
now? Because I know when he first
It's in
opened
Roslyn at the Roslyn Hotel.
All right. Yeah, I was gonna say it was at the Rosalind Hotel, and he's using
Yeah,
that.
so
Okay.
the owner happened to call me during the week and asked to come down. So I'm going down with Darlene and a couple of their people. I'm going to see if we put a deal together. So that's it. And that's what's going on. What's up with you?
Same old stuff, just plugging away, busy as ever. You know, like I told you, today was a crazy, crazy day. Started with my networking group first thing in the morning, and I didn't get back to my office until after 5 this afternoon. So,
Huh.
you know, it's just run, run, run. You know, it's we're hiring some people to start helping us out because
Good, you need it.
Yeah, I need a vacation. It's almost time for a vacation.
Yeah, you said you were going to
You
go
know.
away soon.
Yeah, it hasn't slowed down. So, but other than that, you know, we're just plugging away, keeping things happening. So,
Well, next week it's Wednesday.
next Wednesday,
Next Wednesday is Give Back Wednesday, and
Give
we
Back
have
Wednesday. And who do we have?
the vets organization coming on.
Right. We had those guys, was it last summer, right? That they were
Right,
on?
and they're coming back again,
They're
and they're going
Mike
to be here
Brothers, right? Mike
with
Brothers.
Mike
friends?
Brother, Medicare Mike,
Yep.
and
Looking
they'll
forward
be
to
on
it.
next week.
Should be a lot of fun.
Should
So,
be
you know,
nice.
everybody tune in next week right here on Facebook Live, the Business Power Hour, 7 p.m. We will be here. Everybody stay safe. We will see you next week.
Stay healthy.
That's right. Good night,
Good
everybody.
night, everybody.